in the hole!
At 0900 on February 26, 1945, Private First Class Douglas T. Jacobson crouched behind volcanic rock on the western slope of Hill 382, watching a bazooka team ahead of him take fire from a Japanese 20mm anti-aircraft gun. He was 19 years old, with experience from 3 prior island campaigns, but no decorations. The Japanese had fortified Hill 382 with 16 hardened positions, each designed to deliver overlapping fields of fire against advancing Marines.
Jacobson had enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve at age 17, lying about his age to join the war. Back home in Rochester, New York, he had worked as a draftsman for his father and spent summers as a lifeguard on Long Island beaches. Now he served in Company of 1, 3rd Battalion, 23rd Marines, 4th Marine Division, pinned down on the heavily fortified Hill 382, the highest point north of Mount Suribachi on Iwo Jima. The island spanned just 8 square miles of volcanic ash and relentless combat. 5 days earlier, on February 19th, some 30,000 Marines had landed expecting minimal resistance, but intelligence had gravely underestimated the defenses. The Japanese commander, Lieutenant General Tadamichi Kuribayashi, had spent months transforming Iwo Jima into a fortress. Thousands of yards of tunnels, concrete pillboxes, concealed artillery, and Hill 382 as the anchor of the northern defensive system. Marines dubbed this sector the meat grinder, a name earned through brutal reality. In the week since the landing, the 23rd Marines had lost nearly half their strength. Company after company assaulted Hill 382, only to meet the same fate. Japanese gunners waited in concealed positions untouched by pre-landing bombardment, opening fire as Marines crossed open terrain. Sherman tanks burned. Flamethrower teams fell short of their targets, and entire squads disappeared into the ash. Hill 382 rose about 382 feet above the black sand beaches, the highest elevation in the northern sector. At its summit, the Japanese had created a labyrinth of interconnected bunkers and emplacements. 57mm anti-tank guns dominated the approaches, machine gun nests covered the flanks, and buried light tanks remained hidden until firing. At the hill's base, a 20mm anti-aircraft gun swept the approaches with devastating fire. Jacobson watched as the 2-man bazooka team advanced, the loader carrying M6A3 rockets in a canvas bag, the gunner with the 4.5-foot, 13-pound launcher tube. They moved forward about 15 yards before the anti-aircraft gun opened up, killing both men. The bazooka lay abandoned in the ash. Company I was immobilized. Without neutralizing that gun, the assault would fail. In the first 30 minutes of the attack, the company had already suffered 17 killed and 26 wounded. Japanese defenders remained hidden, every rock potentially concealing a rifle pit, every depression a machine gun nest. Marines died without even sighting the enemy. Jacobson eyed the fallen bazooka. Designed for 2-man operation, one to aim and fire, one to load and wire the ignition, no one used it solo. The backblast risked injury. The weight made it cumbersome alone, and reloading under fire demanded teamwork. Yet both crewmen were dead. Another burst from the anti-aircraft gun dropped 3 more Marines. Company I had been engaged for over an hour against seemingly impregnable positions. Higher. Command monitored closely. Failure here threatened the entire 4th Marine Division's front. Beyond Hill 382 lay the amphitheater, Turkey Knob, and the ruins of Minami Village, all heavily defended. Jacobson grabbed his rifle and advanced toward the bazooka across open volcanic ash, under clear Japanese sight lines. One prior Marine had attempted recovery, but fell to a sniper after 5 yards. Jacobson reached it, seizing the launcher and the remaining 4. Rockets, total weight around 67 pounds with the tube. He slung the bag over his shoulder and ran as the gun tracked him. Rounds whipped past. He dove behind shattered rocks about 30 yards from the enemy position. Covered in dust, with the hot tube in hand, Jacobson had no prior solo bazooka experience. Standard procedure required coordination. Loader inserts. Rocket. Connects wire. Taps gunner. Gunner checks backblast. Area and fires. Alone, he improvised, setting the tube down, inserting a 19-inch 3.5-pound rocket with its shaped charge warhead, connecting the ignition wire by hand. The Japanese crew adjusted aim. Jacobson shouldered the unbalanced launcher, braced it, sighted at approximately 80 yards, below the ladder's 100-yard mark, ensured clear backblast, rose, and fired. The rocket streaked out at 260 feet per second, striking the gun shield center. The shaped charge detonated, penetrating and obliterating the gun and its four-man crew in a fireball. Company I advanced. Jacobson dropped prone, reloaded solo in about 40 seconds versus a trained team's 12, and pressed on. 2 machine gun positions higher up opened fire, dropping 3 Marines and pinning the company again. Jacobson flanked right to 40 yards from the first emplacement, sighted muzzle flashes, and fired, penetrating the earth cover and destroying the gun and crew. The second gun swung toward him. He dove as bullets struck nearby, then crawled left during a reload pause, rose, and fired accurately, silencing it. 3 positions down, 13 remaining. Now a reinforced concrete and rock blockhouse blocked the summit route. 12x 15 feet, 3-foot walls, unscathed by bombardment, housing a dozen defenders with rifles and grenades. With 1 rocket left, Jacobson flanked to the blind northern side, spotting a low rear entrance. Firing into it risked backblast death, so he used the rocket on the entrance frame, blowing it open. He followed with a grenade, clearing screams inside, then confirmed neutralization via the firing slit. 4 down, 12 to go, no rockets left. He returned downhill past the original team's bodies, bag empty, to the supply point 200 yards back, under fire and mortars. 3 prior ammunition runners had died there. He grabbed 4 rockets amid incoming rounds and ran back uphill. A smaller pillbox with a 5-man heavy machine gun crew pinned advancing Marines. Nervous from prior destructions, they fired early. Jacobson zigzagged, exploiting their short bursts and limited traverse, firing through the narrow slit to catastrophic effect inside the confined space. 5 down, 11 to go. Next, an earth-covered rifle emplacement, crude but bombardment-resistant. Flanking above, he fired downward, collapsing it. 6 down, 10 to go. Ahead, a semicircular cluster of 6 interconnected positions, rifle pits, machine guns, mortars, forming the final summit defense, previously repelling 2 assaults with heavy losses. 3 rockets left, 6 targets. He resupplied again under intensifying mortars and snipers, grabbing 4 more amid near misses. At 10:30, exhausted but determined, he circled wide to destroy the observation post first, blinding others with 2 rockets, grenade for a rifle pit, accurate fire during pauses for a machine gun nest, direct hits on 2 mortar pits, rifle fire for the final pit survivors. 12 positions down within the cluster. A nearby company, from the 24th Marines, remained pinned by an eastern pillbox. Jacobson resupplied again, crossed exposed ground to their position, flanked beneath its blind spot. Missed once upward, then scored through the slit, silencing the heavy machine gun. 14 down, 2 to go. A Type 95 Hago light tank emerged, threatening the advance. Thin armor made it vulnerable. Jacobson hit the turret, jamming it. Then the rear engine, igniting fuel and destroying it as crew bailed out fatally. 15 down, 1 to go. The summit blockhouse, largest, thickest walls, multiple slits, housing many defenders. 1 rocket left. He circled rear, fired at the door, blowing it inward, followed with 2 grenades, then charged inside, clearing room by room with rifle and pistol in brutal close combat. 16 enemy positions destroyed, approximately 75 Japanese killed. From Aero 900 onward, in relentless solo action, Private First Class Douglas T. Jacobson, age 19, shattered the Japanese line on Hill 382. Company I and supporting units reached the summit by noon, securing the high ground and beginning reverse slope clearance by 1300. The anchor of Kuribayashi's northern defenses had fallen. The cost was steep. Company I lost 43 killed or wounded that day. The regiment neared 50% casualties overall since landing. Yet Hill 382 was now American. Jacobson descended at 1400, torn uniform, ash-blackened face, empty tube in hand, minor wounds but severe dehydration. Asked how he did it, he replied he didn't know. He just wanted off that hill. The Battle of Iwo Jima raged another 3 weeks, secured on March 26, 1945. Nearly 7,000 Marines died, over 19,000 wounded. Of 21,000 Japanese, few surrendered. 27 Marines and sailors earned the Medal of Honor, the most for any single battle. Promoted to corporal in April 1945, Jacobson returned stateside, receiving the Medal of Honor from President Truman on October 5, 1945. Alongside Jack Lucas, Iwo's youngest recipient. Discharged December 1945, he re-enlisted 1946, commissioned second lieutenant 1954 after officer school, served in Japan, Okinawa, Korea, Vietnam, earned GED 1967, sole officer without high school diploma, retired major after 24 years. He settled in New Jersey, worked real estate, married a teacher met in Okinawa, moved Florida 1987, spoke little of the war. Douglas T. Jacobson died August 20, 2000, age 74, from congestive heart failure and pneumonia in Port Charlotte, Florida. Buried Arlington National Cemetery. Florida named a veterans nursing home for him. 16 positions, approximately 75 enemies, 1 Marine, 1 bazooka designed for 2. Hill 382 fell because Douglas Jacobson refused to stop. His extraordinary valor that day saved countless lives and helped break the meat grinder.